Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Oh, hold my beer for
I'm muted. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. Let me just cut the music. Thank you all for being here today. I sure do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and get on to what's going on today in reference to the Nolan Xavier Wells death. Um, a lot of you all probably already heard it, but I'm bringing it to you right now. Let me let me just get the house rules out of the way so we can go ahead and talk about it. Guys, welcome to the Pink House. All right. And go ahead and hit that like button. If you have not hit that like button, hit that like button because that's the way for you to put me in the algorithm or keep me in the algorithm and also put my videos out to more people that may like my content. So if you all can do that for me, I will greatly appreciate it. Okay. I will appreciate that like now. Okay. And then also, let me, okay. Also, hit the subscribe button. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me, guys. Um, we're going to, and hype the video if you can. Go ahead and hype the video and do everything that needs to be done, okay? Because we're trying to get me at my 7,000 subscribers. I'm almost there and everything. So a girl needs your help, okay? So we're going to go ahead and talk about the Nolan Wells case. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells, and also blessings going up for his family. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. If you all, let me just say this. A lot of you all probably already know that um, from this morning. It was breaking news this morning that attorney Ben Crump is speaking from the NAACP meeting where he has just announced, but also the parents are with him. Nolan parents, mother and father, Elmore and Christine, they're there as well, speaking. But at the NAACP meeting, where he had just announced the preliminary findings in the independent autopsy of Nolan Wells. These early results are already raising major questions about the timeline, the cause of death, and the heading of the investigation so far. We lived in times where Black kids, young Black men, young Black women do not get the same investigation upon their death as anyone else. So it calls for us to push for an investigation. Okay. But we're going to go live with this. We're going to unpack everything as it develops. I don't know where it may take us. after this or what's going on, but as things start unfolding, we're going to be dropping it and jumping right on in. All right. Let me just say the time frame of this announcement dropped just a few hours ago this morning. These things are the findings are remember the findings are permanent. I just said the word preliminary, preliminary, and more details will follow once the full autopsy is complete. We'll cover what confirms what's been confirmed as of this morning. Okay, and we're going to show that that announcement. We're going to show the full announcement. I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to let it play out through its entirety. And then anything else that develops in between then, we will be catching up with that as well. All right. So Ben Crump did make a statement at the NAACP. You can hear from his tone, his urgency, and any new claims. He's going to put it out there. Okay. And he's not playing with no authorities in Mississippi. He's not playing with nobody. Okay. He's come to do business, and that's what he's doing. Business. He's handling up business. He's not playing with no one. And that's one thing I can say about Crump. He ain't gonna be playing with you. Okay. Also, and then I'm gonna welcome everybody that comes in as well. Oh my God, I found Ice Spice. Okay. All right. Ice Spice. What is Ice Spice? Okay. But anyway, but he's not playing with you. He's come for business, okay? The key preliminary findings, whether it shows any injuries, cause of death, indicators, or inconsistencies, they're going to get down to the root of it, okay? And then the whether the independent versus the official autopsy, whether that is an alignment or conflicts with prior reports. The timeline problem, the gaps, the delays, the contradictions, the family and the community reactions to the statements and the pressure and the public response. Next is the legal steps. What's happened? What's going to happen now? What's going to happen in the future? That we're all going to talk about. As more information comes out, we'll continue to track everything from today. I'm quite sure because this just came out today. The preliminary independent autopsy just came out this morning. I'm quite sure more things is going to unfold as of today. If not, I'll be surprised. Okay. And today's announcement at the NAACP meeting marks a major turning point at this case. We're going to stay focused, and we're going to go ahead and just watch this video together. I did watch some of it, but I have not watched it all. But we will be watching the full video. Okay, we will be watching the full video. All right, so so we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, here we go. And put a 1 in the chat if for some reason you're not getting this, because I am carrying this only on one channel today, which is Pinkie the Housewife. I'm just carrying this on one channel today, Pinkie the Housewife. All right. Oh, let me just do this right quick. Because last night I did state that I don't believe Nolan drowned. I really don't. I always said that I don't think he did that to himself. I think what happened is somebody did something to Nolan. Yeah, I really do think so. And then you're talking about, we're going to talk about but the markings and stuff on his neck. He didn't do this to himself, guys. Don't let this. Don't let people fool you. Okay. Don't be fooled like y'all was when y'all voted for something you claim you didn't vote for. Okay. Don't be fooled like that again. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get down to it. Okay. Hello, everybody. Just coming in. Nixon, thank you for coming in, and also everybody, thank you for coming in. Um, I don't know about whether you found Ice Spice. I haven't seen Ice Spice around, but we're gonna go ahead and start this right now. Let me bring that video up. This is the video on the here it is right here. This video is with ABC News. ABC News, and it's the attorney Ben Crump announces the preliminary findings in independent autopsy of Nolan Wells live. So we're gonna go ahead and get it talked about. Let me just put this down in the notes. And let me just say, everything that I cover, a video like this information is going to be down in my description box below my video. So, and like I said, guys, go ahead and hype the video. Go ahead and hype the video. And if you have not, if you have not hit the like button coming in, go ahead and hit the like button coming in. I will appreciate that. Hit the like button coming in, hype the video, and if you have any comments, go ahead and drop them and everything. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're only 12 minutes into this live, so we're going to go ahead and get started, guys. And I haven't seen the whole thing, so I'm going to be watching the rest of it with you. All right, so let's get started. Let me just okay, here we go. And you see his mother and father is over to the left right here. This is his mother and father. And you see Ben Crump and other people standing, and a picture of Nolan Wells there. All right, here we go, guys. Let me do something. I have a real bad sore throat. Okay, I'm starting it from the beginning. And then they will be going over the autopsy report. The autopsy findings, they will be going over that. Okay. And let me just say thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for everybody coming in. I may not be able to stop the video and speak one-on-one and greet you as you're coming in, but I do see you. All right, here we go.
For that, we are honored to pause even for a moment to respond accordingly here at our national convention. Momentarily, you will hear from renowned civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, who will provide updates on.
Let me say, I said NAACP meeting. It's a national convention. Sorry about that. Let me correct that. All right, here we go, guys.
The findings of the independent autopsy that was conducted in the death of Nolan Wells. Immediately following that, we will take questions from credentialed media. We'll attempt to answer as many questions as we can. However, we want to be respectful of the fact that we do have additional programming that is going on to conclude our convention today as well. So we're asking that all press and media, if you're asking questions, please be concise, give your name, give your media credential, and we'll go from there. But before he comes, we will have the leader of the NAACP, President Derek Johnson, to give opening remarks. President Johnson.
Good morning. Far too often, our young people are confronted with challenges, and many jurisdictions and states don't take those challenges serious. We cannot allow another individual, particularly a young Black man's death, go uninvestigated. We have seen this happen over the years, not only in Mississippi, but across the country. It is unfortunate that our young people only seek to enjoy life, and as a result of participating in activities, no longer have life. For the NAACP, we take this and many other cases serious because every person matters. I want to thank the Mississippi State Conference, particularly Alicia Perryman, for working with the family and supporting the family on the onset. Because it's difficult to lose a loved one, it's even more difficult to navigate a process when all eyes are on you. And the pressure of balancing between grieving and navigating is upon you. And so for the NAACP family, this is our role, is to step in, to support when the families have an issue like this, and the local officials seem not to hold people accountable. It's unfortunate when you see news reports and law enforcement officials are repeating what individuals are saying as opposed to investigate the individuals who gave you the information, because you don't know who was involved or not involved. And so narrative matters in this case. And we're saying that in Nolan Wells' situation, the narrative should not be there was an accident before there was an investigation. The narrative should not be the words of individuals who went on a boat to the island with him, but they came without him, but with his cell phone, and you don't investigate those individuals. We're not accusing anyone of anything other than the state of Mississippi and local officials. We're accusing them of being derelict in their duties to follow up and to ensure that regardless of what happened, that there was a proper investigation so that this family and that community could be assured that if anyone was involved, they would be held accountable. And if it was truly an accident, that the families will have the necessary answers that any family deserves in this situation. I want to bring to the podium Attorney Benjamin Crump, a friend of mine who have stepped in to take the case and in support of the family to ensure that they get the answers that they deserve, and that local officials and anyone involved will be held accountable to this family, to that system, because we are all parents, siblings, to loved ones who should not be confronted with this reality. Attorney Crump.
Thank you very much, President Derrick Johnson, for your leadership, for the leadership of the Mississippi Conference of NAACP, and being there during the homegoing services to help the family go through what no parents want to go through. Thank you to Chairman Leon Russell, my longtime mentor from Florida, who helped raise so many of us. Thank you for always being there, Chairman Russell. As President Johnson said, I'm Attorney Ben Crump, representing the family of Nolan Wells, but it's not just me, it is a team effort of incredible, dedicated lawyers and investigators and paralegals. Attorney Lisa Park, attorney who you'll hear from in a few minutes, Attorney Eric Hertz, Attorney Gary Buchan, Attorney Camila Moore, Cliff Jones, Jared Preston, Alan Williams, our whole team of people who are committed, as I said, President Johnson, on this ferocious search for the truth of what really happened to Nolan Wells. But before we begin to discuss the intricacies of the preliminary findings of the independent autopsy, we think it would be appropriate for you all to hear from the people who knew Nolan Wells best, so they can thank you themselves and tell you about the trials and tribulations that they have been enduring since July 4th. July 4th would never be the same for them.
No,
I
we're
bring
not.
to the podium Nolan Wells' mother and father, Christine and Elmore. Please give them a warm NAACP welcome.
I'm going to clap for that one. Although I'm not there, I'm going to clap for that one. Oh, Lord. Christine and Elmore is Nolan's parents.
First of all, I want to say thank you all so much. Thank you to President Johnson as well as Chairman Russell. This has been a difficult journey. Losing a child, it truly breaks your heart. It is a pain that is just, you can't measure it. Especially someone like Nolan, who brought so much joy and light and life to everyone. You don't find too many genuine people like him. So to lose that light at such a young age under these circumstances has been absolutely difficult, which is why we've gone this route. There's so many people out in the public asking all of these questions, but the only question that we have is what happened to our son. That is the only question. We have consistently been degraded by the public. There's been questions about our parenting, our GoFundMe, this, that, and other. I've been called a racist. I am a healthcare provider, and I take my job very seriously. I love everyone. And it's been difficult for us, but we are leaning into our faith, leaning into one another, also leaning into all of you. There are not enough thank yous, not enough appreciation for what you guys have done for us. And we do. We love you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. And so it is our hope that our local authorities will do what they need to do, because us having the preliminary autopsy results and hearing nothing from them, it's heartbreaking and it's concerning, which again is why we are here, why we have asked for this help. So again, thank you all so much for your support. We appreciate you, we really do.
Every day I wake up, it's a new challenge. Knowing that a part of me I will never talk to, I will never hold, I will never play around with or get mad at, it's not here anymore. Nolan brought a lot of joy to our family. He was the wittiest one out of everyone. The clown. He loved to put in the work because he wanted to be the best. He wanted to make me and his mother proud, and we were so proud of him just for being the person that he was. He was loving. All his teachers knew him, but loved him. He walks in the room, his aura, you're automatically drawn to it. Never met an enemy. And if they were, they would eventually be friends, because they will eventually bond, and it's gonna be hard. He should be at football practice right now, calling me after practice, Dad, I made this play, or I made that play, or I get a text with 3 or 4 videos of him doing this, running this route, making this block. And what you think? What you think I should do? And I will give my honest, because I always tell her, if anyone is going to be totally honest with you, it's going to be me. And it's not because I'm being mean, but people outside your family are going to tell you what you want to hear.
Right.
I'm going to tell you what you need to know to make you better. It's going to be hard for our family from here on out. And like I said, every day is a challenge. We're going to miss our son. And like my wife said, we just want honesty. We want to know what happened to our son, because the things that you're telling us, that's not the character of our son. We know our son. I understand, our children would do things that, they would kind of dumbfound us sometimes, but the things that we're being told, that wasn't Nolan. So please keep us in your prayers, keep him in your prayers. And we're going to keep pushing and fighting until we find answers. Thank you guys for your love and support.
Thank you so much, Christine and Nolan. Christine and Elmore, Nolan's mother and father. Before we start to go over the preliminary findings from the independent autopsy, we will hear from Attorney Lisa Park to tell you about who was the forensic pathologist who conducted the autopsy. Attorney Lisa Park.
Thank you. Dr. Roger Mitchell could not join us today, but we felt it important before we reveal and unfold this report that you understand who conducted this autopsy. Dr. Roger Mitchell is a physician and board-certified forensic pathologist with 2 decades of experience. He currently serves as the president of the National Medical Association, which is the oldest and largest group of Black physicians in the U.S. Most recently, he also served as president of Howard University Hospital, chief medical officer of the Howard University Faculty Practice Plan, and chair of the Department of Pathology. Before joining Howard, he served as chief medical examiner for Washington, D.C. from 2014 to 2021, and later as interim deputy mayor for the Public Safety and Justice. Dr. Mitchell has conducted and managed thousands of autopsies and is nationally recognized for his work at the intersection of medicine, public health, and justice. For this case, we sought out the very best, and we are proud to be working with the very best.
Thank you, Attorney Park. I again want to express our gratitude to President Johnson, Chairman Russell, and the NAACP, because civil rights is more important than ever in the United States of America today. And so we thank you for the civil rights leaders stepping up to say that our children's lives matter now more than ever. And I want to thank all of you for getting up 8 in the morning. If people could see how many people are gathered here, they would say, you all are truly blessed to have the support of America, Christine and Elmore. And I want to thank the media for covering this matter because they don't always cover when our children are taken away from us in highly unquestionable ways. And I do understand there's a lot of news going on in America today. I woke up to them saying LeBron James is going to announce where he's going to play basketball next year. But I'm very happy that the media said this story is just as important. It's just as important.
Yep, it is.
And I'm sure LeBron James and Rich Paul and
They're going to be okay.
Stephon Curry and Draymond Green, Jaylen Brown, Embiid, Maxey, Giannis, Bam, and many other players in the National Basketball Association will all agree that our children's lives are far more important than where LeBron or any other player will play next year. And so that's why I thank you all for being here, because this news is as important as any news in the United States of America. Finding out why is Nolan Wells dead.
Yeah, that is true.
And I want to thank you all who have called the call center. I want to thank Reverend Al Sharpton. I want to thank Mr. Tyler Perry. I want to thank Mr. Terry Owens for putting up the $125,000 reward for anybody out there who have information so we can get to the truth of what happened. I mean, any videos, we've gotten so many videos, President Johnson, from that day from young people, and we want them to have the courage to come forward with the pictures, what you heard. I know people said there were a lot of disturbances out there. Some believe it involved Nolan. All of those things are important to get to the truth of what happened. The fact, Christine, that the United Cajun Navy are so forthcoming. The fact that they told us, we haven't heard from any of their local officials, that Nolan was found face down, fully clothed. Well, that's significant to us because the last time we saw him on the videos, he was without a shirt. So at what point did he put on a shirt? Somebody saw something. Somebody knows something. There were almost 300, 400 people. Somebody knows something.
True. Somebody knows something.
So, Scott X, we're trying to just make sure people understand that you can call the Nolan Wells tip line at bencrump.com. We will gladly listen to you, take any information as we try to put together this puzzle of what happened to Nolan Wells. And today, we're going to add some more parts to this puzzle because my legal team and I, we stand for truth, no matter who it implicates or who it exonerates. We stand for justice, no matter who it convicts or it acquits. Yeah, and we stand for transparency because we got eyes that can see, and we don't need government officials having to narrate it for you and me. We can see it for ourselves. Transparency. That leads to the truth. The truth is the foundation for accountability and justice. And that's all we're seeking, as Christina Elmore said from day one. So with that, and Christina Elmore, if you all want to sit, we're about to go through this autopsy. I know it may be a little emotional. Thank you, President.
Okay. We're getting ready to go through this autopsy, guys. And I do want to say thank you for everybody coming in. Thank you, Lady Leo, for coming in. To Be Real for coming in. Teresa, everybody, thank you all for coming in. I didn't get a chance to say hello to you. Let me just check and see who is this coming in my house. Hold on.
As we begin to present the preliminary findings of the autopsy, we want to especially thank Mr. Colin Kaepernick for not thinking it robbery to pay for the autopsy. First, let's go first. So,
We're going to watch this together.
An autopsy will be provided for the media at press@bencrump.com. And so, Mr. Jones, keep that. I'll read this. So, for this. So, Dr. Roger Mitchell, board-certified forensic pathologist, performed a preliminary report on the death of Nolan Xavier Wells. He conducted and presented this report on July 19, 2026. Preliminary report, second autopsy, death of Nolan Xavier Wells.
Before we get started, make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button coming in. Hit that like button coming in, even if you're in the bushes. Please go ahead and hit that like button coming in and hype the video. All right. If you can do that for me, because I see a lot of people in here, but not everybody is hitting that like button. I don't know whether you're forgetting it, but please go ahead and hit that so we can continue on. All right. So I don't have to stop in the middle of it. Thank you, guys. Much love.
Cause of death undetermined, pending investigation. And we'll explain that as we go through the report this morning. The manner of death undetermined, pending investigation. Statement of examination. This forensic pathologist was retained to perform a second autopsy examination on the body of Nolan Xavier Wells. Name of decedent, Nolan Xavier Wells, age 18 years old, race, black, gender, male, date of death, unknown. Second autopsy date was performed on July 10th, 2026. Preliminary findings. And this is significant. Focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region. He said the etiology is unknown at this time. He said the body was received after the initial autopsy. He said the body had marked decompensation. He said corona incision of the scalp, brain removal, Y-shaped incision of the anterior torso, and he talked about the organs being removed, as is common, accompanied in the body cavity. And that when you have an autopsy, the organs are removed from the body and they are dissected and examined.
Okay.
And then they are put back in a bag within inside the body. So when they're buried, their remains will all be with them. But in this occasion, if there's going to be a second autopsy, then the organs are put in the body cavity so the second pathologist could be able to examine the organs as well. Very significant for Dr. Mitchell was that the anterior inner neck structures were absent, not received with the body. And we'll explain that in just a minute.
Okay.
And then it talks about the additional procedures performed during the second autopsy, and we'll go into the paragraphs on that there because he explains it there in his narrative. So where's the first page of the discussion? Not the diagram yet. Diagram on that. So he talks in the preliminary discussion opinion. This forensic pathologist identified several limitations during the second autopsy that create barriers to establishing a definitive cause and manner of death for Nolan Xavier Wells. And that's important. He talks about the fact that we didn't get to see the body when it was first recovered, like the medical examiner working for Mississippi would have seen. He talked about the second autopsy performed on Nolan Wells revealed marked decompensation or changes. Marked decompensation can obscure the presence and absence of bruising on the skin surface, especially during a second autopsy examination. What he's saying, because the body was so decomposed that you couldn't tell if there was bruises or abrasions on the body when he received it on the 10th of July. For these reasons, additional dissection procedures not performed during the first autopsy examination were performed to rule out potential blunt force injuries responsible for the death. These procedures included facial dissection, posterior head and neck dissection, dissection of the ribs, the pelvic, dissection of the subcutaneous and deep soft tissue, dissection of the back, the buttocks, the arms, and legs. He did all of this to rule out things. He ruled out there were no fractures or deep tissue injuries identified. This was very important because he wanted to be very thorough and very transparent, because transparency is the key to getting to the answers of why Nolan Wells is not with us. So he did that there and was very straightforward, very open, very open. He says, however, dissection of the back of the head during the layered posterior neck dissection revealed a 12 by 8-inch focal area of red discoloration in the deep soft tissues overlaying the occipital bone. And he talked about how he found red discoloration when he cut open into the back of his head towards the occipital bone, and he saw the red discoloration, and we actually saw the pictures of it. It's significant. You can't help but notice, why is this dark red here in the back of his head? And so he was important to note that in his report. He said that etiology of this finding is unclear. There are no lacerations of the overlaying skin nor fractures of the underlying skull. These findings are inconclusive for perimortem injury due to both the extensive decomposition and the absence of associated injuries. This finding, however, is significant enough to be highlighted in this preliminary report for further investigation. It is important to reiterate that the finding could not have been observed in the first autopsy because the posterior head and neck dissection were not performed. He said another limitation faced by this forensic pathologist was the absence of the anterior internal neck structures. The trachea and the laryngeal cartilage, the thyroid horn, and the hyoid bone were not received with the body. So he's saying that the throat was not received with the body.
Why not?
When he got Nolan Wells' body in Washington, D.C. to perform the second autopsy. And so let's discuss that with what he said
we
about
want to discuss that.
He said, it is assumed that the initial pathologist retained these structures for additional evaluation. He said the retention of the anterior neck structures during an initial autopsy is a common forensic pathology practice. He was chief medical examiner for 7 years in Washington, D.C. And he said that if they had concern about throat or any fracture or compression of the throat, they too will hold them back. He doesn't know why they held the throat back, but he said the throat was not with the body of Nolan Wells when he received it in Washington, D.C. to perform the second autopsy. He said, nevertheless, a posterior neck dissection performed without review of the anterior neck structures is incomplete. Therefore, this pathologist cannot rule out injury to the neck as a contributor or a cause of death. He said he would need to have the medical examiner in Mississippi allow him to review the throat. That's why he said his autopsy is undetermined pending investigation. Remember, it's about transparency. Because the initial autopsy rightfully removed and dissected each organ, there are additional limitations inherent in the second autopsy of Nolan Wells. The most significant of the limitations was the inability to directly observe the airway and the lungs for water and directly observe the stomach for gastric contents. He said it is very significant as to what the initial forensic scientists who got to review the body when it was recovered. We have heard from our call center people saying the body wasn't waterlogged. Well, we need to know those things. But unfortunately, because the body was decomposed and the organs have already been dissected, those are things we can only get from the initial autopsy. So therefore, again, the manner and cause of death is undetermined until further investigation. We are hopeful that the Mississippi Medical Examiner would give Dr. Mitchell an opportunity to see their photographs and their observations to the condition of Nolan Wells' body closer in time to July 4th. That is very important, and we have to continue to demand transparency, President Johnson.
Yeah.
In addition, the original toxicology results have not been received at the time of this report. And we continue to wait for the toxicology to come back because, again, that will be part of the investigation into.
Let me just say this, guys. I think withholding the information regarding the throat and all the airways and everything around here is deliberately. I really do think so. You could have sent them pictures or whatever, or your findings along with that, but even if you didn't send that, send enough, it's like you sent a half of a body. I'm not saying you sent half of a body like that. You didn't send what you needed to send. I think that was a deliberate ploy on their end. Yes, I do. I'm just saying, I don't put nothing past those people in Mississippi. They all connected. They all know each other. I'm in the doctor's office and he came in. Did I miss anything valuable? No, he was talking about Lady Leo, that part of the certain parts of the body was not delivered with the rest of the body. Like, for instance, the throat, the airways, things up in here. Because, you know, on the back of the head, back there, there's a red spot, a reddish spot, a bruising reddish bruise or something back there. But all of this here, he didn't get. Like I'm saying, that was a deliberate, that's a deliberate ploy to not receive those. Because he know without that, y'all gonna always be, that's gonna help slow down your part of the investigation, your part of the autopsy and everything. Oh no, they know what they're doing in Mississippi. You can, even the examiners, to me, they're crooks too. They all know each other. They're covering each other's butt. Hope you're doing okay, Lady Leo.
It is significant to know that there's many things that go into toxicology that only Dr. Mitchell will be able to opine upon, and medical experts can opine upon. And he feels the proper place to do that is before a grand jury in a courtroom. And so we would hope that the district attorney would present Dr. Mitchell before the grand jury as well.
I hear you, Ben.
All relevant information to be heard by the grand jury.
I hear you, Ben Crump.
Lastly,
They
in
trying to
cases
do
where
some
a
foolery.
death has occurred in or around a body of water,
They trying to do some foolery. You know that boy didn't drown. Nolan didn't drown.
lastly, in cases where a death has occurred in or
And let me just say, am I the only one heard that Nolan was fully clothed, fully dressed then? And we know he had on his swim trunks, the blue swim trunks. But did they? I could have sworn they said a t-shirt had his clothes on. Not once in any of those videos we saw him with clothes on. Now, I'm going to have to make sure I go back through this autopsy report and look. Thank you. My cardiologist, cardiovascular city. You'll see me in a year. Everything was good. Praise God. Thank you, Lady Leo. Praise God. Thank you for letting us know. I could have sworn that. Yes, you heard that. I thought I did. That they said he had on a t-shirt, but the whole time we saw him, he had on nothing but the trunks, the swim trunks. But he was fully clothed when they found his body. You only get doing all that is when you getting ready to leave, or you ain't had enough of what's going on. You putting on your clothes, you getting ready to go. It sounds like he was choked in blunt force trauma to the head. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. All of a sudden you got you know the cramp back here. I always say that's why I get a headache right back there. Right back there. All that is red, right? Bruise. Somebody hit that boy over the head or choked him. Put a headlock on him. No, something. And then he got his clothes on. No, they was trying to stop him from leaving. Yes, they did say that he had on clothes. Thank you. I thought I wasn't just I thought I didn't just hear something wrong. He did have on clothes. So all of a sudden, now you hear that he got clothes on. You didn't hear nothing about that from the authorities in Mississippi. You haven't heard a word about it. Now, all of a sudden, you hear he got clothes on. This is a new finding today. I tell you, you're learning a lot of new stuff. If it wasn't for Ben Crump and everybody that's taking part, we would not know that Nolan had clothes on. But every picture we saw, he only had his swim trunks on. Okay, we're okay. Something ain't sounding right. Like I'm smelling something. Something ain't jiving up in here. Something is amiss. Something is amiss and something is wrong. I smell a rat coming straight out of Mississippi. I smell those rats coming up. I understand that decomposition due to water and hot weather, but that was only a day or two. And it did all that in just a day or two? Mm-hmm. Okay. So that means if they're heading out around 4:30, Something happened to Nolan, but way before 4:30. Way before 4:30. That means he was still in the sun around 4:30, and later, by the time they be getting back, it'll be cooling down then. Oh, hell no. Something ain't right. Something ain't sounding right. Come on,
Find a
my
body of
detective.
water with suspicion of drowning, it is important to confirm how that person entered the water.
Mm-hmm.
This is the crux of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
This information is especially important for those deaths of persons who can swim.
Uh-oh.
As in the case with Nolan Wells, at the time of this report, this forensic pathologist does not know the condition of Nolan Wells. He did not know whether he was conscious or unconscious when he entered the water.
Did you not know? People can tell. You can tell whether a person was conscious or unconscious when they was put in the water and drowned or forced under the water. You could tell. And you telling me he can't tell? Do he need to go back to school, or he just not want to say he know? That don't make no sense to me. And I am just a housewife. I am not in the medical field or anything. And I know better than that. I know better than that. Something ain't smelling right. Something ain't right.
He said that would be significant. He said he did not know whether he was forced into the water or unforced into the water. He said that would be significant. So he said the condition of Nolan Wells before he entered the water would be the crux of the matter. It would be of utmost importance to being able to determine.
Y'all have to excuse me. Seems like they should have gave this to somebody else to do the first autopsy. Because this man here in Mississippi, whoever he is he a student? Is he just learning? Or he just don't give a damn because they're in Mississippi? You know, they have low standards. And I know because I went to school in Mississippi. They have low health care. They have low standards of living. They don't have, if you're part of a group like, you know, those people that wear the white hats during the night and during the day, they take it off and smile in your face. Half of them dumb anyway. They stupid anyway and dumb. They don't have to learn much because everything they do is going to be the same. Nothing to see here. He drowned. So you ain't got to learn how to do anything or advance yourself or keep up to protocol or nothing. You ain't got to learn nothing because everything is going to be the same. Oh, this is just making me hot. Hot under like fish grease.
A cause and manner of death. He said, definitive circumstances of death are required to determine the manner of death. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out, and let me really call your attention.
Oh, this pathologist need to, thank God, I Julie swear, thank God that they doing their own independent autopsy, because this pathologist, this person in Mississippi don't know what the hell he's talking about. He just playing the game and hope us Black people would take his buffoonery. No. Hello, Alice Shaw. Hello, Miss Pinkie. Beautiful Pinkie. Alice, I don't know what. I'm trying to keep calm. I'm trying my best. But it's hard when you're fooling with buffoons. The buffoons of Mississippi, the officials, they all know each other. So they're going to act like buffoons. You know, we see that out every day in this administration that we got, that y'all got, because I ain't got it, okay? Oh, my Lord, I never heard such.
For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out if any intervening non-accidental factors contributed to or caused the death of Nolan Wells. Understand, he said based on the examination of the body, he cannot rule out foul play. That is significant.
He didn't rule out anything. He just dropped the ball. Ben Crump, I know you're going to get to it. You're going to get to it. I know Ben Crump is on his tail now. But, oh my Lord, I can do a better job than that. And I don't know nothing about doing an autopsy. I can do better than that. But, okay, guys, all the detectives, all the moms and dads and people that watch our chat, y'all put your thinking caps on and y'all get to start thinking, because the people in Mississippi think we're buffooneries, okay? They pulling up the tent, and we ain't playing that. This ish stinks. Yeah, they think we're the buffoons. Oh, no, we're not. We're not playing that, and we're not going to believe that.
With the following questions still outstanding, number one, what were the circumstances that led to Nolan Xavier Wells entering the water? Number two, what was the body position when it was found? We know that a member of the United Cajun Navy said that he was face down and he was fully clothed. Number three, was there water in the airway? Remember he talked about the lungs and the airways where they fill with water. Number four, is there any evidence of injuries to the anterior neck structure? We got the autopsy without his neck. We got the body without his neck at the time of the second autopsy. Number five, is there any evidence of any intracranial hemorrhage? He said that is going to be very significant. Things that he could not observe at autopsy that the initial medical examiner would have been able to observe. Number six was the composition of what was the composition of the stomach contents? He talks about that being important because when was he found? How long had he been in the water? How long had it been since his last meal? All those things become relevant factors when you're trying to do a thorough and impartial autopsy. And number seven, what are the toxicology report findings? He said the best classification again for the cause and manner of death for Nolan Xavier Wells is undetermined pending investigation. This forensic pathologist reserves the right to review and incorporate additional forensic pathology information into his opinion as it becomes available. He says, the above opinions are expressed to a reasonable degree of medical certainty. Dr. Roger A. Mitchell, July 19, 2026. And we know that, as I said, this is only another part of the puzzle. And even though it tells us significant information, we still have more questions than we have answers at this time. And we will continue to press forward and persist, Christine and Elmore, with getting the answers to these questions. Because as you, yes, we will persist, because as Christine and Elmore and Attorney Parker and I talked this morning, we know that there are so many conflicting stories.
It is.
The fact that she said him being found face down, the fact that we have other videos where people who have called said that is Nolan who is in some kind of dispute with others. We're looking at all of these things. The fact that the GPS tracking of the boat is being questioned by many. We're trying to dot every I and cross every T, because we understand that when our children's lives are at stake, it matters. Not just what happened, but what we do in the aftermath of them being taken away from us. And just like the NAACP stood up when another tragedy in Mississippi, taking the life of young Emmett Till, we will stand up for Nolan Wells. Just like the NAACP and civil rights leaders stood up when another Mississippi son was taken in Medgar Evers. We will stand up for Nolan Wells.
Stand up.
And just like too many of our young people, Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Botham Jean, Terrence Crutcher, Stephon Clark, Sandra Bland, Atiana Jefferson, Alton Sterling, Eric Gardner, George Floyd, Tamir Rice, the young people who I was trying to focus on. Gary, we stand up until we get the truth, until we get justice for Nolan Wells. 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 We will ask if Christine and Elmore and President Johnson can come back and join us on the stage. And Travail, we will have you coordinate questions and answers for us or President Johnson or Attorney Park and I. I will say this: as President Johnson comes to the stage, I've been sharing this with him and Chairman Russell, Christine Clark. God knows we wish we had you at the Department of Justice now. Christine Clark. As I was sharing with President Johnson and Reverend Al and others, this is so important that we continue to talk about Nolan Wells and what happened to him, and that we get attention on him, because to get attention on him, it brings attention, Cliff Jones, to other cases that are not getting their attention as of yet. But I'm so grateful to Christine and Elmer, because they said whatever we can do, not only to help our son, but to help these other young black boys who was killed the July 4th holiday. And I want to take a moment before we answer your questions to talk about two other young black men, both 18 years old, who were killed in extraordinary ways that are very similar to Nolan. President Johnson, 18-year-old Daniel Irvins went on a fishing trip, out on a fishing boat with two other young men. He was the only black. It is alleged that he ended up accidentally drowning. But his two white friends got his cell phone and threw it away, got his clothes and threw it away, and then went and deleted all of their text messages with him in social media. Sounds familiar? And they've only been charged with tampering with evidence. And his mother is crying out that they should be charged with murder, because if they would lie about his cell phone and his clothes and deleted messages, then they will lie about what really happened to Daniel Irvins.
They sure will. They'll lie about anything.
And then there's the matter of President Johnson, Christine Clark, of 18-year-old
Yes, we do.
Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, on 4th of July, was at a house party with about 10 other people. He was the only black person at the house. He somehow ends up shot in the head, dead. Some of the friends get rid of the gun. The police show up. They tell the police it was an accident. It was an accidental shooting, that they were playing Russian roulette. And Tyler Smith ended up getting killed. And apparently, Christine Clark, President Johnson, the police just took their word for it. His mother and grandmother are incensed. They asked the police, did you do a gunshot residue test on his hands? And the reason they said they had to call us, like Daniel Irvins and Nolan Wells family, because the police told them, President Johnson, that there was no need to do gunshot residue on his hands or any of the other people in the house, because I don't understand this logic, but they said if they were playing Russian roulette, then all of them would have gunshot residue on their hands. So we don't need to do gunshot residue tests. It makes no sense whatsoever. So they're taking the word of these 10 people that your son just killed himself. And you don't have to worry about doing any investigation or testing forensically anything. Just take our word for it. Now, can you imagine in any three of these scenarios, had the survivors been young black men and they were with man, and he ended up dead. What kind of investigation would that have been? What kind of interrogation would that have been? Would they have ever been able to see the light of day until those questions were answered? Well, just like you would do a thorough investigation for your children, we want you to do a thorough investigation for our children. We don't want anything special. We just want equal justice. Equal justice. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Trevon to lead us in the final section.
Well, a few questions. We have my colleagues on either side with microphones. Please announce your name and your media outlet if you have any questions. We're going to be quick because we have other programming going on in real time. We'll go here first.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Samantha Chapman, ABC 7 Chicago. You just unveiled a comprehensive outline of the independent report. Can you summarize for our viewers, because there's a lot to take in, a lot of information. So in summary, can you succinctly tell us what we can take away from this report? And also, if you can provide more details about the neck.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people behind me gasping when that detail was mentioned.
Yeah, let me try to be very comprehensive. As Dr. Roger Mitchell said, that the focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region, is significant because he cannot determine why you have that red discoloration in the back of his brain. That's significant. He also talked about, Mr. Williams, just the fact that as it's common practice, he was missing his throat when they received the body.
They don't want that throat to come with it.
He wants to know why they held it back. He's not drawing any conclusions, but he said he would want to.
They don't want you to get that part. That part of the body? Oh no, because that part of the body tells everything. And they making sure you don't get it. Or no photos, no nothing. They know what they're doing in Mississippi. They may be they may be part of the clown show, but you got to remember, even clowns like that, they still know what they're doing.
If there were neck fractures or compressions to the neck, and he thinks that's significant to know at autopsy. The reason he said he would hold it back when he was medical examiner because he thought that there may have been some issues with neck fractures. The last thing that is significant is what we said before about him, the condition of his body when he went into the water. Was he conscious or unconscious? Was he forced or unforced into the water? He said those things are very significant. But he started off talking about this red discoloration in the back of his head is something that was of great concern to him. Thank you.
We'll go here.
Daryl Denard with Chicago Speaks on V103. What specifically are you calling for from Mississippi authorities in terms of transparency, but more importantly, investigations?
I know President Johnson is from the state of Mississippi, and the Mississippi Conference president is here. They're calling, as we are, for a fair, impartial, comprehensive investigation. When Nolan's parents heard the sheriff say there's no foul play at the beginning of the investigation, that is cause for concern, major concern. You haven't even investigated but you're saying no foul play. And so we want them to dot every I and cross every T. You know, we had a meeting with the district attorney, and we expressed to them about our lived experiences. The fact, and you know, they said that's not what happens in her office, but we said we believe if the roles were reversed and there were 3 young black 18-year-olds and there was a white 18-year-old who was with them and he ended up dead, we don't believe that those young black men would not have been interrogated to the full extent of the law. We believe that it would not have been a choice whether they were going to cooperate with law enforcement if their lawyers and them were going to cooperate. No, they would have been held until they gave answers. They would have been held until they explained the cell phone in their possession. They would have been held until their cell phones have been examined. And so whatever you would do, had the roles been reversed, we want you to do the same thing for Nolan Wells.
If the roles would have been reversed, they would have been picked up, locked up, and being held until they come to a conclusion. They would not be let out on bail. Y'all know that, and that's our lived experience. And for people that don't understand that, you're not going to ever understand it. No matter how we lay it out to you, no matter how we spell it out to you, draw it out for you, no matter how, you're never going to understand it. You're never going to understand it. Because I got people in my family, no matter how you say this, something like this, they would never in their life understand it. Never will understand it.
We have time for one more question, and then we're going to have a prayer with our Religious Affairs Committee with the family. One more question here. What's there?
I'm Tiffany Walden with the Charge in Chicago. I know that we're talking about a transparent investigation, but for families and people who are watching, can you kind of give a breakdown or a timeline to the best of your ability of the contact that you've had with Mississippi authorities or Ocean Springs authorities or the Cajun Navy? Have you all talked to them? Do they call you after the initial autopsy? Is it just radio silence from them? Do you have to call them? Can you kind of walk us through that process?
So, the last time we actually spoke
this is somebody here that haven't been keeping up, okay? And I think instead of putting them on through all that, you can just go back and just pull it up on your cell phone and catch yourself up. Just listen to what you can now, grasp what you can now, and then just go back, and because you want them to start from the very beginning, and everybody's not at the very beginning.
Local authorities, which would be the sheriff's department, was I think a day or two after his body was found. That was only initiated by me. I sent him a text message. I was like, hey, this is Christine, Nolan's mom. I just want to see if there are any updates. Basically, he called back. There were no updates. He's like, we're still interviewing. And again, my concern, and also my husband's concern, was it was not even an hour that his body had been removed. And the sheriff came out and said, this is, accidental drowning. We don't think there's foul play. Again, that is why we're doing what we're doing and why we're moving the way we are. Because I sat there and asked them, please take this case as if this is your child, your family member, your whatever. And they promised that they would, but when you make statements like that straight out the gate, that's an issue. We did meet with the DA. She did promise, transparency and all of this, all of that. However, damage has already been done because now that's the narrative that's being pushed by the general public, who again, know nothing really, only what they're hearing from other people. So in addition.
Lady Leo said they would have been convicted by now in Mississippi if the roles was reversed. It would it would even been an event. It would even been an investigation. They did it. Case closed. That is true. That is true. I agree with you 100% on that, Lady Leo. There have been those. If the roles was reversed, it was three black young men and one white, and the white didn't come back. And one of the black kids had his car keys, cell phone. They've been under the jail. They've been charged. It have been charges pending, charged with murder. I'm serious, and I'm not just saying that. We all know how things roll when you're black. That's how it rolls.
Into that, it's all these things coming up. And at the end of the day, like I said before, any parent that would be in this situation, you would do anything to find out what happened to your child. And that is what we're here to do.
It is very important to note that this narrative, this suggestion that it was an accidental drowning, nothing to see here, is troubling, even if that's the case. There were 300 to 400 people out on Horns Island. You mean to tell me nobody saw anything? Nobody can tell us anything about what happened to one of the few black people that were out there on that island that day? It just doesn't add up. The fact that they're saying Nolan said that he would stay behind, but yet an 18-year-old kid would not want his cell phone if he was going to stay behind. The fact that, you have the young lady saying that he said he was going to get back on the boat with the boys, and then the boys saying no, he said he was going to stay behind and talk to her. If that was the case, don't you believe Nolan would have said, give me my cell phone, I'm gonna stay behind. Give me my car keys, I'm gonna stay behind. It's not adding up. And so we're gonna keep fighting and digging until we get the answers, the transparency, the truth, the accountability, and justice for Nolan Wells. 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 Justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells.
Justice for Nolan Wells. We're going to have our Religious Affairs Committee join us quickly so we can have a quick word of prayer with the family, and that will conclude our press conference formally.
Good morning. It's a good morning in spite of all that we have heard. It's a good morning because we're here for justice. I'm Reverend Wendell Anthony from the Detroit branch and also a member of the National Board of Directors. And
Okay, guys. That ended that. It was just doing a prayer. But let me just see what Alice said. Let me see you, Alice, here. If they three blacks and one white, they would put those hoods and capes on. Yes, they would have them hoods and capes to be on there so quick and so fast. I'll tell you, y'all know they would. They would have been on there so quick and so fast, it'll make your head spin. Mass is not that good. That's okay. I understood exactly what you're saying. I understand. Yeah, they've been put them hoods and capes on there so fast. If it was three blacks and one white, oh Lord, your head be spinning. But guys, we're going to where is it? I just pulled up the the autopsy docs here. And we're going to, I'm going to pull those up and probably go over those myself. We're going to break it down. If not, sometime today, maybe tomorrow, or I may just do it in a video and just release it. I'm not sure. But if something else break today, I may just go ahead and bring, because it's not that many pages. Let me see how many pages it is. Give me 1 second. Okay, that's page 1. Uh-oh. Did I just do something wrong? Yeah. That's page 1, 2, page 2. Let me just see. Three, 4. Okay. So we'll go ahead and look over it ourselves. Okay. We're going to look over it ourselves. I'm going to share those pages with you all sometime today, or maybe if anything break, any new information come out, then I can just throw it in with that. But if not, I'll probably do a pre-recorded or drop them tomorrow so we can look at it ourselves. Okay, because I smell a rat. I don't know about y'all, but I smell some rats coming out. Thank you for sharing this, Pinkie. You're welcome. You are so welcome, Teresa. I smell a rat, and something ain't adding up. A and B and C and D. Somebody is. This ain't adding up. Okay, so don't let them fool you. Don't let them think we're up under that circus tent with them. Oh no, they're the clowns. You know, they always think Black people believe everything they say. No, we're not believing everything you say. Lady Leo said, "Thank you, Pinkie. Somebody's going to get scared and start talking. Trust and believe. God's going to put the fear in them. Oh yes, they're going to start talking. Matter of fact, somebody else was already talking. And I'm going to bring that and because the mom nudged the guy, her son, like this here. I'm going to bring that up. Guys, thank you all for being here. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. I really do. And today was all about Nolan Wells. Nolan Wells, that's his mother and his father right there today. This is them today. A picture I took of, I got this picture today. That's his mother when she was speaking. My heart just aches for her. And we're mourning the loss of this beautiful young man here. This young man here. He's a beautiful soul. All because of these little demons here. Did I call them that? Well, if the shoe fits, put it like that. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and be leaving. Thank you, guys. Just be looking out. If you have not hit the subscribe button, please subscribe to the channel so next time I go live or anything, you'll be aware of it. Okay? I want you to be aware each time I go live. All right? And make sure you hype the video. Hit the like button on your way out. If you have not hit the like button, hit it on your way out. Hit that button, guys, on your way out if you have not done it so far. All right? This is one sad thing. Bye-bye, guys.